Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for this to go live, see if it... That way... when is it ever gonna go live? Alright. I'm just gonna stand here and wait and act like I'm gonna get surprised, be in the middle of a conversation, then get surprised when it goes live. Yeah, Bonnie, no, I'm not kidding, Bonnie, it's true. My DD-214 has a, color corrector in it. DD-214, my discharge paperwork. Yeah. What it is, it says that as I was reading it, it said I was still in Afghanistan. You know what I did? I signed it, added it back, got the copies, and went home. Oh my God, we're live! Oh my goodness! What a surprise! Hi there! Well, yet April turned around here. Based on a true story. Waiting for the music to start playing again. Do I have the site muted? I don't hear. Well, I'm gonna go through this and I'm gonna find out later if the audio is transmitting like it should. Anyway, over like the last couple weeks, I've been reading a lot of news stories about how a elected politician has gotten in trouble for claiming an award that he didn't have. This probably wasn't really an issue until he actually got pinned the award. It was a Bronze Star medal. Let's see, figure out which window capture it is. There it is. Pretty much, generally speaking, these guys, people were defending him to no end. And then you got like a bunch of people, especially on the more, alleged fair and balanced side of things, accusing him of, war crimes and stolen valor and stuff like that. I'm not here to defend him, and I am not here to bury him. What I want to do is explain how stuff like this happens, how common it is, and tell a story about how I was involved in one of these. Nothing as good as a Bronze Star, nothing like that. Heck, not even a, oop, wrong button, wrong window. Nothing as prestigious as a Army Commendation Medal, not even as high up as a AAM, an AAM. So apparently, way back when, in the mid-2000s, this, not politician yet, was deployed, and he was told that he was going to receive a Bronze Star for having been deployed. And was told that, go ahead, pin it on, you're going to get all these photos done, you might as well wear it, you'll get your paperwork later. And that paperwork was never forthcoming, and he spent the next pretty much 20 years, either saying that he had a Bronze Star, or didn't correct the record at all. Now, shouldn't have done that. Don't go bragging about stuff you don't have in case someone actually asks you to demand the paperwork. You know, it's like, hey, here's my DD-214, here's my ERB, here's my ORB, here's this and that and the other. Politicians on both sides can be quite cagey about this stuff and come up with all kinds of excuses. I grew up in the 90s with, late 80s and 90s with, you know, Dan Quayle, Bill Clinton, and George W. Bush. And Al Gore. John Kerry. And stuff like that. Okay. I practiced doing this many times as I'm driving up and down the road, but I just completely brain fart on what it is I want to talk about. Okay. Now, isn't it all possible that the general there, as you can see on screen, told the then young captain that, yes, I totally believe that. In my time, we were told many things that never came to happen. One time we were told we get to wear this one combat patch, and then we were told, no, we can't wear that combat patch. Stuff like that. A bunch of soldiers were told that they could, that since they traveled up with the calf, that they're gonna get Stetsons and spurs. They never got them. Blah, 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 blah. Stuff like that. And so, and of course, you know, it's kind of amazingly coincidental that he got pinned his Bronze Star. Oh he's elected in 2022, not 2024. When was this? 2024. Interesting. Was he running for office then? When was he elected? Let's see. 2008, political activities, 2015, 2017. He may serve on the transition team. I think he was elected in 2022. Now, anyway. Oh, so there's that thought out. And man, I am just seriously brain farting on this. Okay, so they're displaying some of the differences here. There's a very important thing to note. That the politician in question here was a member of the reserve. He was not active duty, as said that he was like from 1998 to like 2014. I got out of the army as a captain. You're not in the army 16 years and you get out as a captain. You're a major at minimum. And probably quite possibly the lieutenant general there was probably a colonel or a lieutenant colonel at the time. Made a promise and thought, okay, well, they take care. Well, here's the thing. Guard and reserve are not active duty. They are citizen soldiers. They have a much different mentality. It's a whole different universe. I'm very familiar with that because I was active duty. And here's the difference. I just noticed something. April is... Your ears are a little cut off there. I just noticed it. I was active duty. And it's a wholly different animal from being a civilian. It's a civilian soldier. When you're civilian, when you're done with your 2-day, couple of weeks, a month and 2 weeks in the summer, you go home, you take the uniform off, and you're no longer military. You civilian. You go to your job. You go back to being a butcher, a baker, candlestick maker, dental hygienist, whatever, liquor store guy. Us active duty people, when we get done with the day and go back to our rooms, I don't have the picture ready. It'll take me too long to find it. But when we go back to our rooms, even though we put civilian clothing on, and we can also jump in our PLV and go off post, we're still active duty. We're subject to UCMJ 24/7. And when we go out on the town, we walk different, we talk different, we dress different. We tend to stand out. Our haircuts give us away all the time. A few weeks ago, I happened to be at a gas station, and a bunch of army people were there. And I knew I almost immediately thought, oh, these are National Guard. I could tell by the haircuts, and the way they walked and talked, and stuff like that, and the way the uniforms looked. Definitely tell. And also noted that very, very few of them had combat patches. Very few, only a couple. Even the sergeants didn't have any. Anyway, so there's a much different thing going on there. Also, let me also point out, he was a reserve attached to an active duty unit, the 82nd Airborne. And I guarantee you, active duty people look down on the Guard and Reserve. I don't know if it's as bad as it was back in my day, but it was pretty bad, even as late as my second deployment. Quite a number were just like had nothing but contempt. We were on a base, a forward operating base, that was all manned by a National Guard unit. And the active duty senior NCOs, they just acted like they were just superior to all of them in every way. Even though many of them, didn't even have the combat experience these National Guard people did. They just treated them like garbage, which was a shame. Because, hey, they're in charge of the base, not us. They can make our lives completely It's before handing me some of the cases they did. And they'll say they'll care, and, you know, the active duty guys say, oh, we'll care about you, we'll get your medals to you right away, all the way, blah, blah, blah. We'll get your paperwork pushed through. And then, once you go back stateside to CONUS, and you go your separate ways, boom, you're forgotten about. Nobody cares. They don't care about that guard unit, reserve unit that was attached to you. They say, screw them. Oh man, I do have that video clip. Do I have the video clip? Not this one, not this folder. I'm looking for a folder. Where is it? I wish I could. Where's my... Oh no, did I oh, there it is, it's right there. Let's see. Remember, I saved this clip because I was going to use it on some dash cam. Ah, there it is. I got it. I found it. Okay. So, hey, you know all these awards that these National Guard and Reserve guys that we're supposed to get up for them? Are we going to work on that?
Now, what do you say?
Oh, I did not hear that. Is this going right here? I got a bad feeling that I do. And that's it. I tell you, they will not care about anything that they owe you at all. Let me tell you right now, for a fact, that if you even if you're active duty, once you leave that unit, it is not very likely that they will care. Case in point, I keep hitting the wrong thing, but am I even broadcasting audio? There's no way for me to know. Oh. Okay, it is. But for some reason I didn't... Oh, that's right. I have to do the application audio at the same time. So I probably didn't do it, so unfortunately, I'm not gonna go and work on that at all. I'm just gonna delete it out of here. Okay, so, let me tell you about people not caring once you leave. I'm not even gonna bring up the, map. We were, moving from one side of the parade field to the other, and we had to clean out the battalion headquarters building that we'd been using for many, many years, and go to the other side for whatever freaking reason. Like, I just didn't understand why we need to do that. Of course, that's like Army logic to you. That's a thing. I'm never a Tom Cruise moment. It's that, oh, man, I even forgot the name. Military intelligence thing, yeah, Army intelligence. And I'm like, opening up, oh my god, I am having a severe Tom Cruise. It's a door, it's shelves and stuff. Cupboards or whatever, shelves of doors. And in one of those shelves, I found a stack of awards. By the way, these are not the real ones. Of course, I would not take them home with me. God, I would not be that dumb. These are actually, mine and my dad's. But this is pretty much tells the story. It's like, there was like 5 of them or more of them opened up. Hey, I know this person. It's like, oh my god. They're never going to know that they had these, and they're all AAMs, none of them were archives, starts and stuff like that. Oop, I keep forgetting. Archives, no, that's it. That's all AAMs. No Arcoms, no Brahman Stars, definitely not. Things like that. F. But all I could really do is, like, put them in the box and take them across the parade field. I really wanted to send these off, but there was no way I was going to find their addresses. And it was like this one guy in there who had a very tragic career. I mean, it was like one of those, he got screwed from one end pretty much from basic training all the way through to his year 4 when he got out. It was just one screw job after another for this poor guy. It's a tragic tale that would take, like, good more time than I've wanted to take here on this. So anyway, that's it, you know? Your active duty and reserve. And you leave the unit, active duty unit, they are not going to care one damn bit about you unless you're a highly elected politician of a state or federal officer or something like that. You know... let's see, I want to kind of talk about now, since I'm like 15 minutes into this. I don't think anybody's popped in on the chat, no. Of course, why would anybody? So, I myself was involved in one of these SNAFUs. I didn't cause it, but I helped set it up, and I, actually had it on my chest there for a short time. So, let's see. So, one day, I was on Sergeant Major's detail, to put it politely for you two. That is, go around, pick up a bunch of trash, and go around and, mow grass and things like that. One day... that's a big giant parade field there. Been there many times. Yeah, we actually had a battalion change of command ceremony here. For a battalion? And give me a break. Oh yeah, the big mountain over there, nice clear blue skies, like to think the clear blue skies and like to think the great big mountain. Shut up. And... oh, I need to sub out that. Okay. And of course, it was your typical day. So we were told to go inside the main post gym and set up. And I remember much of this pretty vividly. Always on the wrong screen. I remember vividly laying out the tarp and setting up chairs. I remember watching a bunch of people get awards, and what I remember is something very similar to this. It all but looked exactly like, I don't think the commissioner's probably not gonna show up. But what I can do is bring up the docs. It looked almost exactly like this. My battalion commander, that's right, my battalion commander, stood up there, and the post viceroy pinned on him a presidential unit citation. Now, darn, I forgot I wanted to get those scenes from Band of Brothers, but yeah, too late for that. And I'm not gonna do this for the others. I already told this story for another service. Now, this is a unit award. You wear this when you are assigned to a unit, to a battalion, brigade, or whatever, division, and you only wear it while you're there. When you leave, you take it off and put the unit awards on for the next unit you are assigned to. Now, if, however, your group, battalion, brigade, division, whatever, receives a unit award while you are assigned to it, you get to wear that forever. That becomes part of your permanent record. Trial here and not too long, a couple of days after always hitting that dang wrong screen. A couple of days later, we were given this, a handout telling us how each company should wear our unit awards. And then, not more, and I do believe we might have even gone through one Class A inspection. And then it's like almost like a couple of weeks after that, we got this new handout. And I'm looking at it going, wait, what happened to the presidential? What happened to the shiny blue one? Where's the pretty blue one I get to wear forever? What happened happened to it. Now, I kept my mouth shut. I wasn't going to say anything. Instead, I actually got on the internet and looked it up. And what I discovered, and by the way, it's on the internet to this day. It's on Wikipedia. And you can go look at it. I'm not going to go show it to you because some of that's personal information to me, but I'm not good. And what it turned out and what I discovered is this, that a battalion with the same exact unit number as the brigade that my battalion was assigned to was awarded a presidential unit citation. So my guess is that some lieutenant or somebody in our battalion or our brigade saw this and said, oh, cool, our battalion gets a presidential unit citation. And it made its way all the way up to the post viceroy. And then it disappeared, never to be seen from again. Yeah, nobody talked about it. Talk about a snafu. And unfortunately, I didn't make it over to the ERB update center in order to get it permanent in my permanent record. Because there was, the Post newspaper did have, I do remember an article about it, and, you know, fingers crossed, I might actually have a copy of that up in the attic, but I've looked for it a couple of times, but I haven't been able to find it. There's like a lot of Transformers up there, a lot of video games, stuff like that. Even Zoop the Hero Z, I finally found that after like 20 years. I even found Robot Masters, Star Saber, and Lion Convoy, something or other. But anyway, I cannot find anything. I went online. Post newspaper long since went out of business, and there's no archive. The local newspapers at the time that handled it do not have an archive. The Internet Archive doesn't have anything. And now, and for the, Stars and Stripes might have it in their archives, but it's paywalled and I'm not paying to look up a shiny blue award that doesn't really mean much to me today. I don't need it. It doesn't do me any good, and that wouldn't have done me much good back then. It won't do me any good now. And this right here is the best evidence I have of this actually having happened. I set this up. I remember taking, I actually had this from Breaking Kayfabe in real life. I was actually in the 101 for about a year in real life, and I had this. And I went out and bought the double bar to put the PUC next to the MUC. And I actually had that on my chest. You believe I had it on for about one Class A inspection and then took it all back apart again. So that's the best evidence I have of this event. I might have just completely hallucinated. It's like, maybe, sometimes you have a dream that is so real it haunts you for decades. It's like, wait, did I have that dream yesterday or did I have it 20 years ago? I don't know. So, but at least, in doing my research on this, see what the heck was going on, I discovered that my battalion was awarded 2 meritorious unit citations. So that means that I have 2 of these permanent, but they're not in my record. And they're not on my uniform. I didn't find out about these until, many years after I got out. So it essentially whoop-de-poop. Nobody gives it, who gives a damn? I don't. Oh yeah, there's the rain from earlier. So in summary, a politician does what politicians do. Guy, he was told that he's getting a, and I just remembered something I wanted to talk about. Way here at the very end. This is also another important piece of mentality, of Army mentality. Oh god, I should have talked about this like 20 minutes ago. If you're an officer and you get deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan in between 2001, 2002, 3, 4, 5, and 6 especially, and you go there, and you come back to CONUS, and you don't have a Bronze Star? That is, like, people are gonna look down on you for that. What the hell? Even Doofy over in Supply. Even Lieutenant Doofy in Supply got himself a Bronze Star. Why the hell you, a captain, don't have one? Spent a year over there? How bad were you to not get a Bronze Star like about 99% of all the other officers? And I can tell you, I saw this firsthand. Real quick story, my lieutenant. In the platoon office, I don't have the, thing ready to go. I don't have anything, any bit of it ready to go. Was talking about how he believed that he should have gotten more than an ARCOM. I think he did get an ARCOM. I keep thinking maybe it was AA. I don't know. I'll like this. I'll do this. But if he got an AEM, I'm going to say ARCOM, cause that. But he was on deployment for like the final 4 months. And he was like maybe the very few officers that went on deployment for any length of time that did not get a Bronze Star. And he was not happy about that. Of course, I don't know if he was jerking our chain or what, but I mean, I'll tell you right now, to my left was Sergeant Al Madrill, who got an AAM for his 11 months on deployment, who had to take care of a hornet's nest of a situation that, frankly, I'll say it like this. He had a hornet's nest shoved up his ass. And all he got for it was an AAM. The guy to my right was Staff Sergeant Thomason, who had received his first ARCOM in about 12, 15 years. And of course, over there to my right was the platoon sergeant who I'm pretty certain received a Bronze Star. He was not in our battalion on the first deployment. He was in another battalion. But the brigade that we were attached to, its policy was, if you're at E7 on up, E7, E8, E9, O1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you were guaranteed 99% chance a Bronze Star. And so, to kind of finish up, a young officer was promised an award. He never received it, but he put it on anyway because someone higher ranking than him told him that he could do it. I believe the story entirely. It's totally believable to me. He should not have done that. He should have gone the, he should have gone the route of humility. You know, an active duty officer wearing an award that they don't have a paperwork for would get in trouble. Or they would get it corrected. Like, oh wait, you're supposed to have an ARCOM, or you don't have the paperwork yet. And someone's, oh well, we'll fix that right away. Don't worry, young lieutenant, we'll get that fixed away. But a reserve officer, guard officer, was promised one and didn't get it. Now they're not going to get it. You shouldn't have worn it. Should have went down the path of humility. And if anybody said, oh, he got a Bronze Star, I said, no, I never got the paperwork for it, so I'm not wearing it. I don't blame him. But he didn't do it. He just, like anybody else, would not want to correct a record on national TV like that, but maybe he should have, and he would have got corrected 20 years sooner. And SNAFUs like this happen all the time. They are constant as the sun goes up. People get awards all the time and don't even know they have them. I truly believe in my heart, even if maybe I hallucinated it, that my battalion was awarded a presidential unit citation, and it turns out, we never were, and wow. So, I think I covered it all. Took me about almost 30 minutes. Anything else? I'm gonna do this again for another service, but I'm gonna change it up because I already talked about the presidential unit citation. Instead, for that one, I am gonna talk about the SNAFU and the out-and-out lying that was involved in on this. Between these two. Yep, that's right. There was a big old huge snafu here. So, I think that's it. Good night.